Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar about our two LLM programs at the Transitional Justice Institute at Ulster University, our program in Human Rights and Transitional Justice, and our program in Gender Conflict and Human Rights. So thanks everyone for joining in. I hope I will be able to give you a good overview of our programs, and then after that we will take any questions that you might have. I think my presentation will be around 15 minutes, so there should be plenty of time to take any questions after the presentation. So I will speak to the contents of our two programs and what we can offer at the Transitional Justice Institute. You see there's some slides here in the beginning more generally about postgraduate studies at Ulster, including issues about fees and other more general issues. So if you have questions to that, then please do get in touch and we'll direct you to the right persons to answer such questions. My expertise is in the program's contents and how we deliver them at the Transitional Justice Institute, not the more general issues relating to fees and so forth. So for quite a number of years, we've been offering two LLM programs at the Transitional Justice Institute. I said our program in Human Rights and Transitional Justice and our program in Gender Conflict and Human Rights. These programs are both offered on a full-time and a part-time basis. This is offered by the Transitional Justice Institute, which is a research institute located within Ulster Law School. So we come from a legal background, but many of us also work, we have colleagues coming from different backgrounds. So while we work within law, we also endorse a social legal approach and apply methodologies from other traditions within our research, and that of course is also reflected in our teaching in these programs. Now we have delivered these programs online since the pandemic set in last spring. The plan is to return to campus delivery from September. At least that's the plan as things look now. But you can remain rested if it happens that we do need to continue online delivery. We have built up significant expertise in that over the last 1.5 years. And our experiences, even if it has been difficult for everyone, is that we are fully capable of doing that in a way that satisfies students' expectations. So one benefit of our two programs is that it gives students the possibility to study transitional justice in a society that is transitional itself. So we use the context of Northern Ireland to elaborate many of the different issues we discuss in our modules and in our programs. That being said, we do take a global approach to the dilemmas and challenges of transitional justice, gender and human rights. So while we're based in Belfast and draw significantly in that context, we of course also examine cases from other regions of the world, including in Europe, Latin America, Africa, Asia and elsewhere. We like to say that at the Transitional Justice Institute, our programs are taught by the people who write the books, and that is actually quite accurate. So you will see if you look into the dominant books in areas of transitional justice, gender, human rights, international law, many of these books have actually been written by colleagues at the Transitional Justice Institute. So students, they benefit from faculty members being highly specialized in the areas of expertise and So these are really the scholars who have published extensively on these issues that we teach, and of course that is something that benefits our students, that we really have the in-house expertise to deliver the specialized postgraduate programs. That is also reflected in how law at Ulster has been ranked in the different surveys that are carried out. So here you see the REF ranking from the last cycle of REF, where Ulster was ranked 4th in the UK out of 67 units. So of course that's very much at the top of the scale and ahead of prestigious universities such as Oxford and Cambridge, as you see in the slide here. Equally important, we were ranked first for research impact in law. So that is a question of how the research that we conduct, how it leads to policy change and other forms of change on the ground. And here you see that the research carried out at the law school at Ulster was the top in the UK. Students also benefit from the facilities we have at the Transitional Justice Institute. So we have a dedicated seminar room where we conduct our classes, at least when we are teaching face-to-face, of course. So this is small class sizes, normally be around 15, max 20 students in each class. We run our modules typically in 3-hour seminar blocks. So that tends to be a combination of a lecture and different forms of seminar exercises. So we really value student engagement and participation, and it is our experience that this is the best way of learning for our students also. So that is something that is reflected in the programs as such, that we like to see students being highly involved and participate in different forms. That can be through seminar exercises, mood exercises, contributing to our legal submissions, some of it voluntarily outside the modules for students who wish to undertake these kind of efforts. So there's really a lot of possibilities for students to engage regularly and in a meaningful way with our teaching staff at the Institute. We, as I already mentioned, we have a highly specialized group of faculty who each have expertise in different areas that are being dealt with within these two programs. So that is also reflected in the modules that we offer at the Transitional Justice Institute for our 2 LLM programs. So this is simply by way of example that we run modules in Foundations of International Human Rights Law, Foundations of Transitional Justice, Gender and Human Rights for the gender stream, Gender and Transition, International Humanitarian Law, Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, Equality Law, Memory and Film and Documentaries. So some of these modules are elective and they can change slightly from year to year, but this presents an example of the modules that we typically offer within our 2 LLM programs. We are also multidisciplinary, as I already noted, so our programs are open not only to students who come with a law degree, but also students who come from other social science disciplines, so sociology, politics, women's studies, and other social science degrees are accepted. And as I also said, this is also multidisciplinarity is also reflected in our own faculty, that some colleagues come with a background in law, others have a background in sociology, some have a background in political science. So this multidisciplinarity, we really believe it strongly benefits the programs and by extension our students. The skills that students build up during these programs is strong analytical skills, which partly at least have to do with how we assess the different modules. That is through 100% coursework, so there are no oral or written examinations. Everything is examined or assessed by coursework, so students build up skills in how to put together good essays, good papers, and we believe these writing skills and research skills are transferable and very beneficial for students who wish to engage these issues of human rights, gender and transitional justice in their future career. There's also a dissertation component, so students will have to write a dissertation and you will have a supervisor assigned who will support you throughout that process. Opportunities, we have a range of different opportunities within the context of the 2 LLM programs, and at the Transitional Justice Institute there's an opportunity for a scholarship. We also have a dissertation prize. There are normally possibilities for internships also, where faculty can be helpful putting you in contact with different organizations in and outside of Northern Ireland if you wish to pursue that. And very importantly, critically, the research environment, the research culture at the Transitional Justice Institute is something that really benefits our LLM students. So we have a small group of experts, and we have quite a number of PhD researchers associated with the Institute also, and they contribute also from time to time in different ways to our programs. For example, since the pandemic set in, a dedicated group of PhD researchers have offered essay writing support on a regular basis. So this is something that students find highly beneficial for gaining the skills necessary to produce a good essay. LLM students are also invited to take part in the seminars and the conferences that we organize at the Institute. So again, this is something that students tend to find very interesting and something that contributes to the learning experience. So our experience is that students really value this type of offerings. What then after the LLM program? So our students go on to work with local and international human rights organizations, women's rights organizations in and outside of Northern Ireland. Some go on to work with regional or international organizations like the UN. Some pursue a career in academia, so that's the possibility, of course, to pursue a PhD, either with us at the Transitional Justice Institute or at another law school after having completed the LLM program, and really a wide range of other options. So quite diverse where students end up, but the vast majority of our students, of course, end up working on these issues of transitional justice, human rights, and gender in their career. We have a strong international reputation at the Transitional Justice Institute, so different faculty have participated in high-level consultations with the UN and with regional organizations. Many of us are consulting for the same organizations, and that sort of interplay between academia and practice, again, is something that really benefits the programs at the Transitional Justice Institute. So this will be all for my presentation. I think we can now open up for any questions there might be. You're also very welcome to email any questions to me on the email address that is mentioned on the slide. Typically, what are the class sizes, Thomas? So it varies a bit from our foundational modules that we run in the first semester to the elective modules. I would say generally on the foundational modules, class sizes tend to be around 15, max 20, and on the elective modules, typically somewhat smaller than that, really anywhere between 5 and 15 students on these modules. Any other questions, anyone? Okay, in that case, I think we will conclude here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me on the email address mentioned here, and I'll do my best to get back to you promptly. So thanks for joining in. Have a wonderful afternoon ahead, everyone. Thank you.